Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Love and Prosperity for Leaders. And what we're going to talk about today is when goal setting works and when it doesn't. When does manifestation work and when does it not work? Another thing we're going to get into is responding to a question that somebody from the group asked, which is about how can I manifest a partner and how can I manifest a career? All right, so the principles are going to remain basically the same for manifesting just about whatever we desire. However, depending on how in alignment this thing that you're seeking to manifest is, there will be a lot of variation in terms of how quickly and easily it can come about and whether it can even come about at all. So we're going to get into all that. I'm going to be reading from my notes a little bit today because I do want to make sure that I get all of this information into the presentation. This is inspired, or I should say it's inspired by one of my greatest teachers. His name is Bob Proctor. I'm going to be talking a lot about his work in this group, so hopefully if you guys are here, you're fans of our good friend Bob Proctor. And this is from lesson 1 of the Thinking into Results program. It's all about goals. So we're going to get into the different types of goals and again, why they work and why they do not work. So first of all, goals. A-type goal, a B-type goal, and a C-type goal. An A-type goal is a goal that you have done before. It's basically it's not really a goal, right? It's something that will require little to no growth for you to achieve because it's something that you've already done. So A-type goals are way too safe. A B-type goal being what you think that you can do. This is a reasonable goal. This is the type of goal that, for instance, a lot of parents and elders would advise you to go after this type of goal, a B-type goal. And so something that you maybe haven't necessarily done before, but you are quite sure that you can do. Hey Eric, good to see you, welcome. And so B-type goal, it's like the type of goal that, for instance, a school guidance counselor would give to you. It's like it's a reasonable goal. It's a totally reasonable goal. And society and culture in general kind of generally pushes us towards this type of goal. And there's good reason for it. I mean, it's partially this idea of self-protection. Like if you go after something really big, you set yourself up for this potential of not being able to reach that goal and therefore setting yourself up for potential disappointment. The flip side of that is that if you knew you had this big dream in your heart and you never allowed that potential to be released, set forth into the world, you would always wonder. And so for me, that's a bigger fear than going after big things and failing, because I've done both in my life already up to this point. And so for me, shooting for the moon and then landing where I land is very much the possibility. That's how I like to live my life. And so that gets into the C-type goal. The C-type goal is what you truly desire. It is a big goal. It's something that is almost like a fantasy. And the special thing about a C-type goal is that in order to achieve this type of goal, you must literally become somebody else. And it doesn't mean like, you being in a different body or something like that. It means that your core, your essence is transforming to become the type of person who would manifest this new type of reality. Because who you are right now, the thoughts that you think and the words that you say and the actions that you take has been responsible for the results that you're experiencing in your life. So for instance, you can look at somebody's body and you can tell a lot about the way that they think and the way that they act and the way that they move. Same thing with their bank account. You can tell a lot about a person's mindset and their habits by what you see in their bank account. Same thing with their relationships. Who are they hanging out with? What type of relationships? Are they harmonious? Are they uplifting? Are they growth-minded and abundant? Or are they hanging out with people who are bringing them down and keeping them stuck? All of these things are results of our thinking. So one of the big purposes of this group and this work that I'm doing is constantly refocusing our energy on exactly what it is that we are creating and not focusing all of our energy on the things that we don't want. Because this is, in a sense, how our brain has been trained, or not even trained, it's programmed that way. It's a survival mechanism. We are programmed to look for problems, to look for danger. And so if this part of the brain is not understood and observed, kept in check in a sense, it just keeps going and going and going, right? You can always find something to be anxious or depressed about if that's how you're focusing your energy. Simultaneously, you can always find something to be excited about. There's both sides of that polarity happen simultaneously. In each moment, we get to make that choice. Another way to look at this is like, are we choosing love or are we choosing fear in this moment? Another way I like to look at this is with this idea of how excitement is actually right next to anxiety. They're really similar feelings. So if you're feeling anxiety about something, you could just make a little shift over and be like, oh, this is kind of an exciting moment. This is a challenge. This is something big is happening right now. It's a really, really subtle little mindset shift that can be done in any moment, especially if you find yourself repeating patterns of anxiety or depression. I mean, depression's a little bit different because it's more about focusing on things that have already happened in the past. So, whereas anxiety is an excessive focus on a unrealized future that we do not desire. So one saying I find to be really helpful is that anxiety, or sorry, I lost my train there. Oh yeah, there we go. I was like, I don't want to just leave this hanging. So worrying is praying for something that you don't want. So in a sense, that's what anxiety is. And so if you're one of those people who really identifies with having anxiety, I'd recommend just looking at reframing this for yourself and thinking about, like, it's not your anxiety. You don't own it. It's not a true part of your being, your true essence. It's just something that passes by, that visits upon you at times. And if you keep training those neural pathways, you will have a tendency to go into that state more and more easily. So that's a really good frame to think about all this manifestation stuff, because we're electromagnetic beings attracting the circumstances of our lives by the vibrations that we're transmitting. So knowing that, we have to become really aware of the vibrations that we're transmitting. You'll notice, if you pay attention to yourself, you probably have habitual vibrations that you transmit again and again that are putting you in alignment with things that you do not want. And I'm saying that from experience. I have that, and even knowing all this information and having practiced it for a long time, I still have those things where it's like, oh, here I am again manifesting this thing that I didn't want because I was focused on it and I was energetically matching to that vibration. So in a little bit here, we're gonna do the goal setting exercise and get super clear about exactly what it is that we are creating right now. And if you've done this recently, I know Eric, we talked about it already. I recommend doing this over and over again. So you know, every couple weeks or every month or whatever, coming back to your goals and revising them and rereading them and rewriting them. Because oftentimes you'll notice that little things will change. So we always want to be updating them to the current vision of exactly what we are creating. So here's a quote from Bob. It's, "Creativity comes from the root creator, which is within. Everybody is creative. It's only a matter of whether or not you are expressing your creativity. Human beings are creative beings, and we are goal-seeking organisms. We are happiest when we are moving towards something. Especially the masculine, the males of the species. We really need to be having a goal, but it's not a masculine characteristic in particular. Females, the same way. We need to be working towards something. Otherwise, we feel a little bit like a ship lost at sea without a rudder. We're just floating and floating and floating. And so an interesting thing to think about is like when really high achievers like Olympic athletes, high-level professional athletes or entrepreneurs reach a great summit, you know, this thing that they have been working for years, perhaps even decades. They get to the top of that mountain and, you know, there's this joy and elation from getting there, and then very shortly afterwards, like even within a day, oftentimes, if not like a week or a month, they'll start to feel this real sense of sadness, emptiness, and even depression that comes from achieving these high-level goals. And the reason why that comes is because suddenly they've lost their target. And having lost their target, they are, you know, basically out of their element. They're out of their goal-seeking nature. So once they lock onto a new target, then they are able to feel directed again, to feel happier and healthier again. So again, on the C-type goals, when you set a goal, a big goal, a C-type goal, if it doesn't scare you a little bit, it's not a big enough goal. So the idea here is to go from fantasy, with the question, am I able? Is this even possible? To, am I willing to pay the price? To action, to reality. So ask and you shall receive is law if you are willing to pay the price. And being willing to pay the price is being willing to do anything that it takes for this goal, this dream to manifest. Being willing to take every single action to pay the price no matter what, to see the realization of this dream, this manifestation. Going along with that is being willing to fail as many times as you need to in order to get there. So this is one that has been hard for me in the past, and I think is hard for a lot of people. It can be easy to take a perceived failure as a sign that it's not working. And this, especially when it comes to big goals, is a fatal flaw. We want to understand that the only way that we can fail is by truly giving up, by letting it fall away. So how do you decide what you truly want? Let's sit down and really think about this. Again, this exercise is going to be making two lists. And on one side, personal goals. On the other side, professional goals. You're going to want to sit down with your piece of paper and get really quiet. Allow yourself to relax and get into kind of a meditative state and ask yourself this question. What is it that I truly want in my career and professional life? Write down everything, the whole bucket list. What do you want to achieve? And then do the same with your personal life. Write down the whole thing, the whole bucket list. What do you want to achieve? And so when you wake up in the morning, when you look at these, okay, so next step after you do that, write down the top goal from your personal life, top goal from your professional life. Again, if you've done this already, it's something that we want to repeat again and again and again. Another place where a lot of people go wrong with the law of attraction is they're not willing to do the amount of repetition that it will actually take to manifest the thing that they want to manifest. They'll do it a couple times for a month or a week or whatever, and then they'll be like, oh, it's not working. And as soon as you start putting that energy out there, you're basically choosing for it to not work. You're making it not work. So rather than doing that, waking up every day and taking these top two goals, the number one from personal, the number one from professional, and reading them out loud and feeling the feeling of that wish fulfilled. Tapping into the actual emotion of it, the feeling of that experience, the sensory experience that you are going to have when you get there, is a really powerful way to draw that energy towards you. Because what you're doing is you're choosing to match up with the frequency of that goal. Right now, probably if you have a big goal, your dominant frequency is somewhere around here, and the frequency of that goal may be way up here or way up there. So in order to create this, in order to actually make the thing manifest, your frequency, the way that you're vibrating needs to be in alignment with exactly the goal that you're creating. Make sense? All right, Juan's there. What's up, Juan? Good to see you. You want to come on video? Did you do that on purpose? Let me know. All right, I'm almost done with the presentation, then we can get into some interactions. So here's a quote from Steve Bow. So God's gift is more talent and ability than we'll ever hope to use in our lifetime. Or God's gift to us is more talent and ability than we'll ever hope to use in this lifetime. Our gift to God is to develop as much of that talent and ability as we can in this lifetime. You can replace that with spirit or energy or whatever type of creator force you like to use, whatever words you like to use for that. So once we've got these goals clear, we're writing them down, putting them in the present time. Oh, so I don't think I mentioned that. So when we write down our goals, we want to put each one of these statements in the present time. So that means using the phrase, I am so happy and grateful now that ... So, for instance, somebody had asked about manifesting a partnership, relationship. What I used when I was manifesting my partnership, I used the statement, I am so happy and grateful now that I am living in harmony with my divine partner. There's a couple things I like about this. One of them is that, again, it's in the present tense, so it's like it's already happened, or it's happening, not it's going to happen out in the future. Because the only place where you can manifest is right here in the present moment. It always happens now. So this is another big mistake a lot of people make with the law of attraction, is they're always pushing this thing out into the future, and you continue doing that, and it never comes. It never actually manifests into reality because it's always out there. And trust me, I'm just as guilty of this as anybody else. It's definitely a habit that I've taken a lot of time and energy to try and break. And it's not totally gone, but it's getting better. All right, so The other thing I like about that, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm living in harmony with my divine partner, is using this phrase divine partner allows the openness for this to be exactly whoever it is. It's not like I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm living in harmony with whatever, Jill Johnson or whoever her name is. Because the thing about it is like when you're manifesting something, it really needs to be like your personal thing that you're creating. Like you don't want to get stuck in trying to like control other people to feel a certain way about you or to do certain things. um, you can do that. That's a possible, it's certainly something that people have spent time figuring out and practicing. But it's not really what I recommend, especially when it comes to love, because for instance, when I was manifesting my partner, my wife now, one of the biggest things that I put in there was the idea that she was going to know that it was me. Like she was going to be seeking me as much as I was going to be seeking her. And as soon as we met each other, we would know. And that's exactly how it happened. As soon as we saw each other, we were like, oh, it's you. You're finally here. Thank God. I've been waiting for you. And before that, I met a ton of beautiful women. I met a lot of interesting, nice, wonderful people who were like, kind of maybe close to what it was that I was manifesting, but I could tell that it was not them. And so I didn't spend time dating them or like waiting to see if it was going to work out. And this method may not be right for everybody. Some people prefer to like really go through that process of getting to know somebody and seeing if this is the relationship they're seeking. And then personally for me, I was tired of that feeling out process, tired of playing games, tired of the dating. I just wanted to like find her and meet her and be with her and get on, with living our lives together, with being together and being in love. And that's exactly what we did. And I really, when I met her, felt as though I was home. And that was another thing that I was seeking, was the feeling of like really being in a safe emotional place with her and her feeling that way about me. And yeah, that's exactly how it's manifested. And at this point, we have two beautiful children. Our son was born just about exactly 2 months ago, and yeah, that was what I was seeking. I also wanted to manifest a son and a daughter, so they're here. Yeah, what a blessing. So other things in terms of manifesting a specific person or manifesting a relationship is to really get as clear as possible about exactly what it is you want from a relationship and what you want to give to the relationship and what you want to get from the relationship. Because a lot of people, I think, they feel like love is just going to come along and solve their problems. So all they're looking for is to manifest a relationship and fall in love with somebody. And then they fall in love with somebody who's, totally incompatible or emotionally unavailable or, addicted to drugs and alcohol or whatever it may be. Like they just fall in love with this person who creates even more chaos into their lives. So really getting in touch with where you're coming from, like what are you bringing to the table? What would you like to experience in your relationship? And even like living out this vision to a certain extent, really getting super clear about it. And I'd recommend writing all this down. So what characteristics you want your partner to have, and even down to like, you can get as specific as you want. I like to leave a little bit of leeway for it. Again, like the divine partner thing is this idea of allowing it to be whoever it is, not being like, I must, win her over and this is the one for me. It's much more I just like the flexibility that terminology allows for. And so this goes for like, this concept I'm about to express goes for manifesting a lot of different things, but again, it's this idea of like connecting with the frequency of the thing that you're creating. So it will be really difficult, if not impossible, to manifest love by focusing on something like loneliness, or whatever it is that you don't like about being single is not where you want to be existing with your vibration. Rather, you want to be choosing to create the types of vibrations that you're seeking to experience from the relationship before they even get there to you. So when I manifested my relationship with Emily, I was not like, oh my God, I need a relationship. Otherwise, I'm so sad and I'm so lonely and I'm so depressed and blah, blah, blah. I was like really enjoying being single. And that energy of me like just being passionate about what I was doing in my life and living an adventure and taking fun trips and like doing work that I was passionate about. All that energy of doing that stuff is the same energy that attracted her into my life. Had I been wallowing around in that other, more negative energy, it would have been much harder, if not impossible, to attract that experience of meeting her. And, I could have been in that vibration and we could have passed by each other and not even recognized. So you really want to tune into this concept. Like, what frequency are you vibrating at, and how can you raise your frequency to match that thing that you were seeking to manifest? That's like, if you could put the law of attraction in one sentence, that's that's one of the ways to describe it. Like, everything exists on a frequency, everything is a vibration. So anything that you want to attract, you can attract it by tuning into the vibration of that manifestation. So to circle back, it's like, if you want to manifest a relationship, how can you be like living in a place of love? How can you be projecting love and experiencing love on a day-to-day basis? Very similar thing goes for something like manifesting money or abundance. We really want to, and I know this is one of the big ones that I'm working on, is like being able to tune into the vibration of abundance, no matter what else is happening in your physical reality, because it's always around us, right? It's the nature of source energy is abundance, and you are source energy, so your nature is abundance. So any perception of scarcity or lack is literally an illusion created by our minds. It's an illusion of perspective. So to be able to really understand this, not just on the intellectual level, but on the vibrational level, will allow us to bring forth, to manifest so much more of this abundance that is our birthright. I love to think about the concept that the truth that you were born rich. And not because your mother or your father were necessarily wealthy, although they might not have thought of themselves that way. But because you are a child of the Great Spirit of God, a child of Mother Earth, a child of the Creator, however you want to frame that for yourself. And your birthright is abundance by that very nature. So giving that reminder to you, and also that reminder to me, it's really good to tap into that as many times as possible, because it's very easy to forget. Because there's like two primary different ways of manifesting reality. And if we want to manifest something that's really kind of outside our paradigm meaning our programs, our subconscious beliefs that create our habitual behavior. If you want to manifest something that is outside of your paradigm, you need to change that programming, change that frequency in order to lock into the new upgraded reality. Because again, the thoughts that a person is thinking are creating the reality around them. All right. Well, I think that I'm running short on time here, so I feel like I maybe had one more little thought around that. Dramatic pause, dramatic pause. Oh yeah, so, and then the other question, we talked about manifesting a relationship. The other question is about manifesting a career. So it's quite a similar concept. You really want to think about exactly what it is exactly what it is that you are desiring to create. Like, what type of career, what type of job do you want? And putting it in the present tense. So like, for instance, if you wanted to be like, let's just say an artist. I'm just looking at all these paintings around me, so I got that pretty clear transmission. But you could say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am an artist, earning $10,000 a month every month with the sale of my products and services, for instance. And Think and Grow Rich is a really wonderful resource for tapping into this energy. And he gives a specific process for manifesting a certain amount of money and manifesting it through a certain career path. And it's my version that I'm giving you right now is more of the Bob Proctor version, but again, that's Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich is the lineage that Bob Proctor derived his information from. So again, putting in the present tense, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a successful artist earning over $10,000 per month every month through sales of my products and services. You can apply this to anything. The thing is really like getting clear about exactly what it is that you're creating and then focusing your energy on moving towards it every single day. And chances are that if you start to focus your energy on whatever it is, opportunities and experiences, resources, mentors, all of the information that you need to pursue that career path, to manifest that reality, will be attracted to you if you continue focusing your energy on exactly what it is. Oh, that's the train of thought I lost. Okay, I got it back. So, two different types of reality creation. One is to basically allow our physical surroundings, allow what is going on around us to dictate what we believe is possible and cause us to choose our thoughts and choose our actions. Right? So you're allowing your current relationships or your current bank account or your current fitness level to dictate your thoughts and what you believe is possible. Your thoughts become your reality. So if your thoughts are all based on what you're observing in physical reality, you can see that that's kind of like a cyclical pattern that happens. You'll keep getting more of the same thing if you keep allowing your physical surroundings to dictate your thoughts. It just goes round and round like that. Everything big that was ever created in history by a human being was created by somebody who is thinking outside of the box, who is thinking outside of that loop of, observing circumstances, observing our surroundings, observing our sense impressions, and then allowing that to create our thoughts. So what are they doing instead? What they're doing is originating the thoughts, imagining the thing that they're seeking to create, and then choosing that thought over and over and over again until they, again, the resources and the information, the mentors and the experiences that are necessary for that manifestation to come forth into physical reality are attracted to them by their continual focus, their persistence in choosing that thought. And this is one of the things we talk about when we're talking about being willing to pay the price. This takes work, and it takes dedication, it takes focus, and it seems illogical in a sense, you know? Like it would make more sense to to choose your thoughts based on your surroundings, right? That seems more logical. But if we want to change our surroundings, if we want to change our reality to make some type of life upgrade, we need to choose the other method, which is to choose our thoughts first. Structure our reality based on the thoughts that we're choosing. So this is very much what Bob Proctor's program is all about, the Thinking into Results program. And what he does is he takes people through a proven system of bringing forth any desire, any goal into physical reality. So if I told you that I had a system that could allow you to bring forth whatever goal you have in your mind, whatever desire it is that you would like to manifest, would you want it? It's right here. You have it. You're doing it right now. You have that capability within you. So, understanding once again and reminding yourself every day that you are a creator being. You have the capability to manifest whatever it is that you truly desire, if you're willing to pay the price. So I have a couple things I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to drop a link to Bob Proctor's version of this lesson. You'll see he talks a lot about, he gives a lot of similar information, but obviously it's in a totally different style. I really love listening to Bob, so I love sharing his work with people. And the other thing I want to show you guys is this right here. This is one of my recent manifestations. It's called the Love Attraction Manual Men's Edition. And the first one that I wrote, the Love Attraction Manual. So these are my 2 books that I've written. And these are very much based on this idea of manifesting a divine partner. So the first one, the regular Love Attraction Manual is on Amazon. The second one is simply on my website that I'm going to give you guys the link to down below. So if you're interested in having something to write this stuff down inside of a journal, that's exactly what that is. So definitely check that out. And what I do for work is take people through this process. So if you want to know more about doing that work of focusing our energy and going through the proven process, all you need to do is reach out, send me a message, and we can have a little chat and see if we're a fit for working together. Next Monday, I'm going to be doing the same thing, which is Mindset Monday, and I believe there's going to be one special surprise coming up later on this week as well. So stay tuned for that. Welcome to the group, to all the new group members. I appreciate having you guys here. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, y'all.